All right, please be joined this time by Coach Tiernan from Thomson, the state champ offensive coordinator, talking to us today about the Thomson Way. Coach, thanks for joining me.
I appreciate it. It's a great honor. Yeah, it's been a whirlwind year. A lot of fun, but it turned out well for us. Truly enjoyed the run through and finishing the drill finally.
You guys had a great team, man. I got to watch the last one in person. Really impressive. So take it away, Coach.
Okay, well today, one of our cornerstone, one of our big plays for us is the buck sweep. We use it in a variety of ways. It says the Thomson Way, but it's an age-old play. I mean, we'll get into it a little bit more. And, we run a lot of wing tee principles from the gun. I get right to this thing. Like I said, as you said, we won the state championship going 14-1, averaging 41 points a game, rushing over 260. Now, we did this in a variety of ways. Years past, we've done it with more quarterback-based run, the +1 idea with being able to run your quarterbacks. This year, we had what we felt like is a stable of backs, three to four good backs, one that's pretty elite with the ball in his hands. So we were more running back focused this year. We had two guys that rushed for over 1,000 yards, and a couple others that rushed for about 500-600 yards apiece. Some of the stats can be a little misleading in one or two directions. Our defense did a great job giving us extra possessions by getting off the field. And, obviously, as we all know, football is a team game. So I got to give credit to our defense, getting the ball back in our hands for us to be able to do what we did on offense. And as you can see on here, we had almost 4,000 yards rushing on the season. We had a couple guys totaled well over 1,000 yards passing and 614 points. And that's not including the 30 missed extra points that we had on the season in the kicking game. So that's a little background from this past season. All right, so we'll get into the buck sweep, but this is how we do things at Thomson offensively. We run multiple sets, and as you can see on here, the different run schemes that we run. We run inside zone, outside zone, GT counter, GH counter, power, gap scheme, buck sweep. Depending on the situation, we might run some trap, depending if the team's getting us a little midline. So we run a variety of run plays in our offense because, in my mind, sometimes teams are going to take away, us running power that night. So we got to have an answer, whether it's a counter play or play action off of it. We have to have answers. So for me, it's important that we don't overwhelm the kids, and we can be a little more focused on certain areas of the passing game and run game each day. So the first day we'll go through and we'll run all of our zone blocking, and then I'll throw in there a GT counter because we have a lot of outside zone action with the back if the quarterback's running it, or we just got to fit it all in there. So it doesn't necessarily fit exactly what we want to do, but we want to run inside zone, outside zone, and GT counter on Mondays. In this day, we'll also run our 60s and 70s of one game. In the pass game. Now, 60s and 70s for us is all flash screens, outside quick screens to the receivers, wheeling them back out of the backfield, all that. Okay. Now, what makes ours a little bit different than others is we have it where it's kind of an RPO, our system of an RPO, because in the 60s, 70s game, we'll actually have we'll have buck sweep up front. And you'll see that I have some clips of all these plays as far as buck sweep and quarterback buck, and then in our 60s and 70s quick game. So the quarterback will have options, and I'll get into that a little bit more when we get to those slides. but just kind of understanding we do a little bit differently. That way, it's an RPO system. It's a numbers game in the box to give our quarterback options. And sometimes I'll take the options out of it for the quarterbacks, and he basically just has to do what's called. And the one game is just one step game for us in the shotgun, catch and throw kind of plays, set up, cut the field in half, look left to right. We're not looking left, then right. We're picking one side, and that's the side we're going to live and die by. If the quarterback don't like it, just take off and run. But it's a pretty snap read game. And Tuesdays, all right, so let me go back to Mondays. So Mondays is also more of it's usually our day that we're going to be in shells. We're not going to be going to the ground. We're thudding up. So we do a lot of pass scale, a lot of outside stuff, perimeter game wise. So for us, I stole it from Kirby Smart. I saw him talking about it years ago, and I love the idea because we always had the inside run period. Well, this is our version of an outside run type period, quick screen period. It's to get our receivers into it. It's millennial Oklahoma. And I know a lot of people do it now. I saw Georgia doing a version of it a couple of weeks ago at their clinic, and I'm going to add a little bit more into it, like what they do. But for us, it's to force those receivers to block on the perimeter, and it's also we're getting out of it. Our defense is getting some out of it because they've got to get off blocks on the outside. Our receivers got to take good angles on blocking, and our running backs, whether they're flaring out the backfield, getting the screen, or they're going to try to get up on a linebacker, or getting something out of it. And it's just very high tempo. 5-10 minutes, we're in and out of it, but we're jumping right in. All right, so that's more like Monday is our get it out of our hands, get it out on the perimeter. We're getting our big guys kind of running that day. Then Tuesdays we're run heavy. That's our inside period. That's when we're going to be sitting there running our power plays, GH counters, buck sweep, quarterback buck. And our pass game is now more 3-step drop, waggles, sprint outs, getting out of the pocket. Again, like I said, we have a lot that goes into it. So our kids have to learn a lot going into our system. So it's a lot more run heavy, and we'll mix some power reads in there. So that's our work day is what Tuesdays is. And I'm sure that's pretty much what everyone and most people in the state, that's how they are throughout the season. Wednesdays, we come in, we mix it all in. I'm going to mix all that stuff in that we have. Sorry, let me close these up. I'm going to mix all those, all the plays in together. But on this day, it's going to be, for the line, it's nothing different. Buck sweep's going to be buck sweep, power's going to be power. But now we're going to add in our power read. That a lot of people have in their system, the GT counter with the read off. We're going to run RPOs, traditional RPOs with the buck sweep off it, throwing read in the backside that the linebacker crashes, throwing a slant or a hitch or a stick route outside, just replacing where the linebacker would be. But we're a lot more versatile in this, and also my passing game. Instead of just traditional pass scale, it's going to be more oriented to situations, third down situations, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 4, stuff that I want the quarterbacks to feel comfortable with, and also for me to get used to calling these things in the game. Okay, so I feel good about it. We execute it during practice. I feel good about it that we can execute in the game. And obviously Thursdays, like everyone else, is a walkthrough. We get through, we kind of clean anything up. That's our final game prep for the kids. We're sitting down, talking any questions out, anything that they're uncomfortable with. And that's usually when I'm a lot more involved with the quarterbacks, seeing where their head's at after the first 3 days. Obviously you check in with them every day, but where they're going into Friday, how they feel about certain things. If they don't like a certain throw, they don't like a certain pass concept that we're using, that we'll scrap it. So that way we don't waste time on bringing it in. And obviously Friday we get in and do it. It's game day. We got to execute the game plan. And this year, obviously, the end result showed our kids did a great job, but it really has taken, truly and honestly, it's taken us 5 years for the kids to finally, they were on board, but they really sold out, and they were sold on the idea how we did things, offensive, defensively, and everything. What it took to get to that next step, because we got right there, and then we obviously got beat third round a couple of years. All right. So I kind of talked about our offensive identity. We want to be fast paced. We're going to attack you in multiple ways. We use dang near every formation that you can possibly use. And that's out of 80 personnel settings, 10, 11, 12, 22, what doesn't matter. They got to learn how all the skilled kids, tight ends and B backs, in our system, that's the H back, have to learn all the formations. They have to learn all the terminology as far as trades, motions in and out. So they have to learn it all, because we have to use that, because I know me sitting here telling you it's not been easy. We are undersized offensive line wise the past couple of years. We have to do things motion wise and formationally to be able to keep people off guard and to be able to get angles on people and use our speed by our skilled kids to get out the perimeter if we can do it. So that's where we kind of go with Thomson football. We're physical, and we're going to play physical downhill football, but we also have to understand, especially in the playoffs, we were outmatched in the box. So we had to find ways of getting angles on people, find ways of creating mismatches on the outside. And we use our formations and motions to do that kind of stuff. And it kind of sets up everything for us. So, whether it's motion out of the backfield, motion from outside, from inside to outside, we use it all. I like to build. I'd rather have more than I need than need more and not have it. So, that's kind of the philosophy. Obviously you don't want to overload the kids, but we're also not going to shortchange ourselves and not have something when we need it. All right, so this is just one of our basic formations that we use in buck sweep. We're always looking for that front side guard to kick out the edge defender. But sometimes, we haven't been able to do that. I'll give you an example. Burke County is a huge rival for us, but they do a tremendous job where their ponies, the ponies on the outside, do a tremendous job where they're just not going to let you. They're not going to let you kick them. As soon as they see a down block by the B back or the tight end, they're squeezing so hard that they're not letting your front side guard or back side guard get inside them. So we had to figure out a way to get around that, because we love buck sweep. I love running buck sweep. I love running quarterback and running back buck sweep. So what we basically do is we tell our guards, they squeeze so hard, let them squeeze. We're going to get outside it. Because now we just log it. We'll sit there and take the front side guard and either log it, or we'll let this H-back sit here and kind of hesitate and see. He sees down block. As soon as he sees that, he squeezes, we're going to log him. And just basically use the leverage on him. Let him go and run himself out of the play, and while we're getting outside of it. And you'll see that in some clips when we get going. But now, instead of us kicking the edge, we got two wrappers. So we're going to get two people on the outside, and it's very similar to what you would see on pin and pull. So people that see us might think, especially on our quarterback our quarterback sweep, buck sweep, looks eerily similar to what you would see on pin and pull. And that's okay. It's what we do. It's how we get numbers. It's how we get angles. And we use the formations one way or the other to try to dictate people running. And we'll get into the RPO side of things in just a second when we're talking about this. But this is just the traditional, the oldie but a goodie buck sweep. As you see right here, we're gonna try to overload sets and see people adjust. They at this point in the game, if I'm not mistaken, it's still a little bit early, but they started kind of walking the extra safety up over here and the extra linebacker up over here to kind of take away anything that we can. Weeks prior kind of led to this. We got away from a buck sweep, and it was actually traditional pin and pull. Covered, uncovered linemen getting outside and blocking back and blocking down on people. So we're just running buck sweep here. Don't ask me that. Some of it's not going to look great for you, and I'll be honest with you. Depending on who's running it, it's going to be whether the idea is what we teach these guys. Obviously, get down backer all the way through here, pull kick and pull and wrap, and we're blocking down. We're trying to block down here. And what the rule is for the running back is we want him in the hip pocket of the guard. You'll see some that are a little impatient. You'll see one bad one that actually probably cost us the game against Burt this past season. But right here, we block everyone down. As you see, there's no one to kick right now. So we ended up I think we shifted to this formation's overload set, and there's no one for him to kick on bus sweep. So he sees nobody, and our receiver doesn't help matters in it right here by what he does, because he should be really just climbing up to this safety. He should be climbing to the safety. The only time we crack here is if we condense the formation and get in a bunch set and condense everyone down. But he ends up cracking right here, almost gets a block in the back on this guy. Running back does a pretty good job. And I'm going to probably skip through some because they're so right here, only problem what you would say, and you can't really, this guy right here, he is so fast. His split, which is typically good for most formations, but most people, he needs to be almost on top of this tackle right here because he's so fast. He's going to outrun these guards, and you'll see in most of the clips he outruns his backside guard that he's supposed to be in the hip pocket. But sometimes it's hard to argue with results. This kid's pretty daggone good right here. So sometimes you got to live and die by it. But as you see, he's chasing, and he just outruns everyone. All right, and this time he does a good job. He's a lot more patient. This is early in the year. And he does a great job getting in the hip pocket this time, being patient. So he's patient, and exploding through. Okay, front side guard does a good job. The B-back does a tremendous job. Almost kind of, he collapses him all the way down to my center here. And I don't like that look. But what you can see here is last play, 2 plays ago, this guy's trying to crack him for some reason. This time he's smart, gets up. Now we have somebody to kick. Everyone's gap down, kick, and wrap. And he does a great job. All right, so we talked about formationally. We're trying to get this is against Burke County, and just a little back history. We have so much common terminology because I worked there for the better part of 10 years. Our DC was there. Now our head coach. He was DC at Burke. So we're very familiar with each other. So this is why we ended up getting into it. This is this past year. So when we get in these sets right here, we're so run heavy to the B back side that now we're going to try to hit them quick, and it's not perfectly blocked. We have no way to block down on the end, but we're a quick kick there. We don't have great numbers, but it was a 3rd and short or 2nd and short gain. So it's set up and try to get downhill quick. So formationally, that's that we just got in a different formation that they're not used to seeing us run this in, and then got them on their heels. Wide view of it. As you can see right here, inside the tight end, now they got their stacked linebacker walked out because they're not used to seeing this. So they can't get the numbers they really want. We got somebody for the kick, and he stays outside. So he doesn't want to give Curry an opportunity to get outside. So he's got to stay outside leverage. So now you got 2 outside. So they're outnumbered when it comes to that. We're just looking to get a quick hitter for a first down. I'm going to get the quarterback running one. I can't leave this one out there. Again, he's quick with it. He could be a little bit wider. State championship game, things are a little wild. So he's tighter than he needs to be. So it's not going to give him much opportunity to get by this guy. And he just decides to get way outside and go. Just glad he didn't trip over him when he ran by him. Again, sometimes it's hard to really argue with the results, right? but he does a good job getting inside that first. Early in the year, he would have wanted to outrun over here because he wanted, anytime he would turn his shoulders this way, he wanted to run outside zone stretch. He wanted to get up to the numbers. And he didn't understand this is a patient play. You got to at least get behind here. You got to hit it behind that first kick. You would like for him to sit there and get behind the backside guard, but again, the results outweigh it. There again. This guy's one of our better ones. He's not as explosive as 6, but he's very patient when it comes to running buck sweep. He just ain't got a lot behind him to finish out the run. All right, so this is the one right here. This is early in the year. We're 4th and 4. Right there in that zone where, punting here wouldn't make a sense. You're only gaining possibly 10 yards unless we have a great punt. So right here, again, like I said, he wants to run everything outside. He's not aligned good either. Right here, we're lined up behind the quarterback. Now his angles, you'll see here in a second, he's pushing forward. So this is a bad play that we got on here. And he tries to outrun anyone. And when you're playing against a team that's got a lot of speed just like you, it doesn't work out. We get stopped on the 4th down, a huge momentum shift in the ball game. We ended up losing this ball game by I think 4 points. We missed on a conversion down the 4-yard line, 4th down play, and so we ended up getting tackled right here. Okay, not a whole lot. We're gonna skip through some of this so I can get it. All right, so we got a few of our motions and shifts. We're running out wide, and all we're doing here is trying to get flow by somebody, trying to get people the motion from somebody here. The running back, the H-back, whoever, we're trying to get eyes moving, okay? So when we run this motion, we're hoping that we can get some people going with them. They're playing shine. It just tells us one thing. We go straight man. Now he's a patient runner here because now this point of the season, he's more patient, like I said. So he wants to run it up inside, but he's just a good running back. He sees he's got leverage there. They do a job where they get angles on him, and he just gets outside and does a good job on that part. All right, same thing. We're out, and guys, I'll tell you right now, this game here against South Atlanta, Fitzgerald, all these, I mean, up front in the box, we're outsized all the way around. So we've got to do everything we can to be bigger on everyone. It's kick, patient block right there. And he gets what he wants to do. He wants to get on the outside. He wants to get on the perimeter. Okay, so we're sitting there. We're going to motion across. We're trading from one side to the other. So we got an overload set, and we want to see if they're going to adjust up front with us. So they're going to get outside, or are they going to give us all angles to be able to blot down on you? They do. They give us all angles that we want. They don't adjust. They don't bump, nothing. So we're able to wash everything down and get out there out in front, just get behind our guards and go score. So again, we're using motions and trades and shifts to get the numbers we want, the angles we want. Nothing more violent. I mean, offensive line wise, you're not seeing guys pancake a bunch of people. Just, I mean, really and truly, what we've been telling these guys for the past 2 years is that they're good. These guys that we have in the backfield are really shifty and can do something with the football. So sometimes it's just a matter of get your lineman to understand, get in the way. Just get in the way and let those guys bounce off of you. We got backs that can do a good job. We shift right here. They ended up bouncing or bumping the front. But they're doing it late. So now they got to make adjustments. You got a stack who sits there and wants to roll down. So once we do this, now he's got to make the adjustment and bounce down. Okay. And opponent's he's got to bounce out. And they got a lot of moving parts. So I feel good about that. When we can get them moving and uncomfortable and having to make adjustments up front, I mean, we got all we can. Okay. Now it's just a matter of the lineman getting in the way and doing a good job of getting in the way. There's nothing devastating by that down block by the tight end. Just get in the way of the big boy. Don't let him make the play in the backfield. Let him go do it. All right, another formation. We're overloaded out here. We got quads out here. Motion the guy in. All we're doing is motion a B back or H back in, short motion to block down. Try to get down on them. Give us what we want. We missed the trade. They traded over. As you can see, ain't nothing vicious. I want to get to the quarterback stuff here in a second. All right, now the semifinal ball game right here. We've showed everything every single week. We'll use I'll use huddle for what it's worth, and I'll break down and try to break any tendencies that we might have shown the week before or previous 3 weeks. At this point, we've seen all probably 13 games of theirs. They've seen 13 games of ours. So I got to figure out ways of breaking tendencies, and this is one. We usually use a tight end and a H back to run buck sweep, but we got to find out other ways. They're motion sensitive to what we do, so we use no tight ends, and we just got to know it's going to be a short kick. So our front side guard here understands once we motion right here, he's going to block down unless he's in a 4, and he's going to have a short. He's going to have a short, basically log. It's not even really a kick. He's going to log it, and our backside guard does a crappy job even getting out there. You'll see a little bit better here. He understands it's basically a pin and pull here. So he's going to sit there, pin. We're going to wrap out outside. It's buck sweep. I mean, we call it buck sweep, but our linemen understand that they look pre-snap. They get an idea what they're going to see. And a lot of this is film work. Watching pretty much every daggone film they've got throughout the season to understand what they're going to line up in. When we motion, this is what they're going to do. We've got to use our undersized linemen and find ways to get angles for those guys. Just get in the way. We haven't shown that all year. Okay, so this is kind of turned into one of our staple plays. Now, years past, and we've been very quarterback run heavy. I had a guy that he could throw it decent, but he could run the football. He was great at running the football. He could throw just enough to be able to keep you honest, though. So this is what we put in. This was the staple of our offense for the past few years, and we really didn't start using it more so with number 5 until the playoffs. I want to make sure we kept him healthy, and we had to take the training wheels off. When we hit the playoffs, he had to understand he's going to have to run the football a lot more for us to be successful. He's not going to run it as much as 6 and 7, but he's going to have to run the ball just enough to keep people honest. And plus, if we can have it, and you'll see in these clips, if we can have a +1 situation, and that's meaning that we have the quarterback running the ball. Now we can use the running back either as an extra blocker, or we can do like we see in this clip right here, or this slide, and we can motion him out, and we're looking to throw to this guy. The motion, the tear motion, we're looking to throw to this guy. So if nobody in the box runs with him, we're going to dump it off to him, and we're going to block it. And basically, it's going to be a swing screen to the running back. So we're looking. This is our version of RPO with the quarterback system. The quarterback having the ability to run the football as well. All right, right here we motion him in, and we motion a back in, and we're using the running back as a extra blocker for him, a lead blocker on our quarterback run. Okay, so we log everything there. So there's no, like I said, there's nobody to kick out for the front side guard. So now he's just looking to move up on the next level. All right, we don't run it out of this formation a lot, but we work basically every formation we could possibly run our buck sweeps out of, and we run it at them. All right, same thing here. Motion one guy. We don't block it for crap. We're missing. We got our heads down, but still. Get in the way just enough and just let an athlete go get out in space and do something with it. All right, same thing here. Now, for here, you'll see we start them on one side and move them to the other because we want to even them up. So basically what we want to do is we want to have H-back on both sides and be able to have the ability to run the ball on either side, get numbers. So now we can't get overloaded one way or the other. All right. So at this point in the game, in the state championship of the game, it's been raining like crazy. And we hadn't really showed this at all throughout the year. Now we worked it every day with 6 being in the backfield to play quarterback, but we haven't run it. But once or twice in the season. So we haven't really shown it. So basically, you know, throw it all at them and see what happens. And plus you want to put your best athlete back here to handle the snaps. And you'll see some snaps that most guys probably miss. So we're doing it just like we're running buck sweep, blocking down there, kicking out. But with this, you got to play outside because you have that running back kind of leading outside. He doesn't do much, but he draws an extra defender out there with him. All right. Here's a little something, a little twist to go along with it again. We've been running all these buck sweeps, and we've had a tight end. We've had an H-back right here. Okay, and we do one thing with the running back. All these years, we've been motioning them out, either throwing it to them or running buck sweep here. Well, now we want to break our tendency, so we get out of a tight end set and get in 10 personnel. And now we actually are running option off this. We got buck sweep. He's looking to kick there. And we're going to actually, I apologize. He is supposed to be wrapping for him because he's got nobody to kick. We're going to pitch off this outside backer here. Okay. So he should be wrapping for him, and we're going to pitch off 9 and use it almost like a speed option. I mean, that's all it really is, a speed option with two guys pulling out front. But this is all in our system. At this point in the season, this was the second round of the playoffs. Told 5, you got to run the ball. You got to give me 5 to 6 runs a game to be able to keep these guys honest. And he had probably his best game of the year against Cook. Let's see a better angle here. They got an overhang, all evened up right here. Okay, but we want to use our numbers. He should have, like I said, he should have been up on him, or the front side guard should have been up on the linebacker, and we're pitching off this guy. There ain't no telling what we could have done. But either way, it's an explosive play. Breaks a tendency. That's the biggest thing for me is we're breaking tendencies. All right. Now we have buck sweep up front. We condense the front. We bring everyone down, join the party. And what we're trying to do here is we're trying to even everyone up because it's hard, to play man coverage when you got everyone bunched in because you got rub routes and everything else. But right here, we're going to bunch everyone down. And the quarterback's actually going to read. He's reading that play side linebacker. He's reading this play side linebacker. The play side linebacker widens just a little bit. We're going to pull and go. We shouldn't have been blocking them. Receiver blocks them kind of back into the play right there. But again, it's another way of us running buck sweep where we're reading it. Okay, we run traditional when we're going to give it. We got the quarterback running his version of it. We got an option off of it. We got an RPO off of it. We got a read off of it. We're reading linebackers. It could be the play side stat 1 week. It could be the backside. I've already got ideas of this year. Not going to really get into it, but we're RPOs and play actions off the formations that we run. A heavy dose of quarterback monster. What we call monsters is butt sweep for the quarterback. Okay. All we're doing here, again, with the motion is we're trying to widen. As you can see, when we motion out, you got 2. You got the corner and you got this outside linebacker widening out with them, or actually cornerback. So you got 2 widening out. And that's all you're looking for. They bounce, they run outside here. Okay, this guy's off the table. Okay, we're just motioning this guy just to widen people out. Maybe get a linebacker to run with them, get them moving, get their eyes going. Okay, it's not a huge run. We don't do a very good job up front of getting on these guys. They're slow to it. They just completely whiff on the linebacker. I can understand the front side, but the backside linebacker or guard should have seen that. Same thing. Get the wide view on this. All right. Condensed look. We give it all we can. We're trying to get one of these two guys running. So see somebody run with them. They got a corner and a stack running out there with them, which is what we're looking for. We don't do a very good job up front, but you're getting what we want on the motions. Get the wide here. All right. Ran this set a good bit against Appleton the week before. So I want to find a way to be able to break a tendency and show something a little bit different. When you motion 6 out, if anyone's watched it, okay, we're going to freeze them here. When we motion 6 out, that's usually a problem for some people, and then somebody's going to have to run with them. So having him back there and some of the other ones we have definitely helps because he widens him out now. All right. So we widen him out, get up on the linebackers, and we're sitting there using what we can. And it's all about angles. I promise you, I'm gonna speed through a couple of these just to kind of get to the passing portion. All right, but this is originally how we put it out. Okay. This is the RPO. If anyone's looking to put an easy RPO in, this is about as easy. And some people probably won't even call it an RPO, but this is the easiest way we can do. Okay. So there's a run, there's a pass, and we got the option off. So when he motions out, any of these white jerseys run with them, he's off the table. Okay. Because they already got 2 out there. So that means we got more than we can block. Now we're coming over here and running the football. It's the original way we put it in. B-back does a terrible job at the time. He's a sophomore. He's not very physical. He gets beat across his face, but we're able to get enough on him that we could sit there and go put an athlete in space. And that's all it is. We're looking for ways to get everyone condensed down, power football, and eventually you're trying to get that athlete out in space. And that's what we're looking for. Angles in space. Nothing devastating at all. There ain't no knockout hits. Heck, I don't think we probably had the least amount of pancakes that anyone would play. We're going to get to the passing portion of it soon. Put them out in space and go. Let's see. Coach, you let me know if I'm running too long or if you want to get something else. I'm trying to get to the passing part.
No, take your time, Coach.
Yeah. It's a good patient run. Good ball team. Same concept. That guard right here, he ain't but all but 5'5". So I mean, you ain't got to have huge size to be able to get this done. All right, here it is. Finally. All right, so this goes into this season right here. We've been running this, so everyone's kind of conscious of it now. So now you see what you got: a linebacker, you got a corner, you got a safety over the top of that. So now you got no numbers. Everything number-wise is terrible over here. So we motion this guy out, and we'll get to the wide view of it. You see, pre-snap read, we got to understand we're good. Anytime this guy is beyond 8 yards, I mean, the screen game is good stuff right here. Okay, and I'm glad that obviously he was smart enough to be able to understand this. But numbers-wise, it's terrible. Okay, we got way too much when we can handle. Even though we got guards pulling, still don't like it. Okay, so we just pop it out there to him in space. Get a hat on the outside. Get in the way. Get a good gain here. All right, we motion across. So get this. All right, we motion across. This is more of our 60s game. This is our flash screen, fast screen, when people call it different things. The quick screens on the outside. So we're using a motion, but if you pay attention to the guards, this is where it's at right here. Okay. We're looking at this in the box. In the box, though, watch the linebackers. The linebackers are going to float. They're going to see that got those guards pulling, and there goes one. Backside linebacker's gone. So now we got numbers. Got one here and one here. Okay. Now, anytime we do Millennial Oklahoma and we run the quick screens, this is a rule of thumb for the people that are catching the ball, whether it's a receiver catching it or a running back out of the backfield. We're going to handle the people that are on the surface, meaning that they're within the box or they're within the 8 yards. You, as the carrier, the catcher, you got to handle the safety on your own. Okay, we can only block some money. In the perfect world, you have a hat on a hat, but we tell our guys that if we can get the pony and the corner taken care of, you got one-on-one with the safety, and you got to win. So we just nothing vicious. You're one-on-one with the safety. Make a move, get some extra yards. But again, they're pulling guards, and once we pull, watch 3 right here. It's dead set. We condense the formation. Guard right or the line. Sorry, guard. You put the guards are pulling. Linebackers gone. Both linebackers are gone. So now you have less in the box you got to worry about. I just wish number 11 he'd do a better job blocking out there, but 13's doing his job out there. Get in the way. Again, this is about angles. What it should have been is he's sitting on his outside leg, forcing him inside right here, just basically pinning him inside. Now, he don't do a great job of it, but he gets in the way. And I keep on saying that. That's one thing you're going to hear, and you hear tell my guys all the time. Just get in the way of these running backs and receivers that we're getting the ball in their hands. And in our system, if you don't block, you don't get the rock. That's the rule of thumb. So 13 probably got a little love at some point during the game for what he did right here. We'll find a way to get the ball to him. And that's the beautiful thing about the screen game is we can call it and tag who we want the ball thrown to. You know, just by count system. 1, 2, split the difference right here. We got 3, 2, 1. Okay, and we just tag it who we want them to throw to, and they understand. It's all in our system. All right, so that's some of the quick game right there. Use emotions. Now, what I was talking about earlier, we're looking the box. Okay. He's good with whatever he feels. We're empty right here. Okay. So by being empty, we got 5 receivers. They're all out wide, and then we got 5 in the box. What we're counting here. He could potentially decide to run the football right here because we have it tagged in here by 71. That means we're running buck sweep to the left. So if he don't like what he sees outside, or if they all roll down man coverage and they're all within 8 yards of the receiver, we don't like that. We have it built in where they can run buck sweep, whether it's running back in the backfield or if it's in this situation, it's the quarterback could run buck sweep to the left. Now, obviously, he doesn't do that right here. He throws it, but he could have if he wanted to. As you see, we got it blocked up front to be able to do it if he wanted to. I like that. Put the ball on the ground. Let's see what else we got here. Again, we're motioning out. Number 13 is not a blazer. He's done a tremendous job. He was a senior this past year, and this is probably just one way I was just trying to show him a little love for something he did during the game, blocking wise, just being able to get the ball to him quickly. I was absolutely amazed he scored on that one when he actually did. Same thing here. Quick screen. You got the butt sweep up front going. Numbers wise, he liked it out there. Just get it to him. It's your player. Get it out in space to him. Plus, if you see by the motion, when we motion across, this is what the quarterback's looking for. Okay. And this is how we read in our coverages, when we read coverages on deep throws, intermediate throws, quick screen, whatever. You'll see, as you'll notice, nobody's running with this guy. And we know if nobody's running with them, we're about to outnumber you. So we got to take the money and run with it here because there's nobody running with them. Take what they give you. Plus that quarterback right there, he's not much of a runner anyway. He probably wasn't even looking to run the ball. But I mean, that's the rule. You know, if you're not going to move with our motions, then we're going to find leverage. We're going to find numbers somehow, whether it's in deep throws, intermediate, whatever we do, sprint out. we're going to find ways to get it. It's just another way of us doing it. The same kind of screen out here to the number one receiver. He didn't like the numbers up top because here's the thing. In our screen game, he's got really three options if he wants. Okay. Number one, look in the box. If you like what you see, you can run the buck sweep yourself. Number two, you could throw to the side we call. Or number four? I'm sorry. Both sides are running the screen out here. Okay. So he's running a quick screen and he's running a quick screen. The two number one receivers are running a quick screen. So no matter what we got, you got options. You can throw either way, you could run the ball. Probably should have chose the other way. Or ran the ball, one of the two. Again, he's not much of a runner, so it's just another way we motion out. Ain't shown this all year. Just motion them, a wide motion, fake it, token fake to the receiver, to the running back. He could have handed it to him if he wanted to. Try to draw these, keep these linebackers engaged on the play over here. So now you freezing the outside linebacker and the two inside linebackers by that motion right there. Like numbers aren't good or empty. You got 5 for 5. He don't like it. Again, we're looking at angles. He's doing his job, getting his outside shoulder. He's trying to take away his inside shoulder. Catch and split. Catch skinny. Get vertical. A rule of thumb for most of our guys is you get one move and you got to get vertical. One move, get vertical. Split the difference. Right? Same thing. Using emotion. All right, so we got play actions. All right, so now we had buck sweep. We've got all of our play actions, the RPO versions. We do have the traditional buck sweep one way, throwing slant backside. We have all that stuff. We don't run it a lot. And the reason being is anytime if I say buck right, slant, means we're tagging the backside with a slant. But guess what? All the quarterback sees is slant. He doesn't even think about the buck sweep, and they're not even reading it. So if I do call something like that, I have to know almost in my mind that backside linebacker is going to run downhill. Otherwise, I don't call it, or I'll just call slant with the play action off of it, just because I know what they're going to do. They see slant, they want to throw the slant. That's what they're looking for. Okay, but we got waggle here. Just come off. We're looking at pin front side with the front side guard, and run the question mark with the backside would be a person protector. Just hits a little over route from the backside. We condense the look. We run the crap out of buck sweep, keeps them honest. I'm surprised that this quarterback didn't just take off running. He likes to run more than he likes to throw. So that was good. That was a good touchdown for him. Same thing. Now, in this situation right here, I'll tell you what we're looking at right here. And I got a guy in the box looking. I'm looking play side. I need when my eyes in the skies. He's looking the backside. If these guys don't honor this right here, this play action right here, and they get sucked back in here and just let him go, we're gonna pull up right here around the hash, and we're gonna throw backside wheel on. So we're gonna force you to cover. See right there, in the back of my head, I'm gonna keep open. They're not gonna honor it. We're gonna keep on rolling the sideline. So we're gonna get to this point right here, and we're just gonna throw it all the way down there. The big thing right here in the play action game is you got to be a good salesman. You got to stick it in there and do a good job of riding it and keeping them off your back. And then he doesn't really do a great job, but I'll give him credit. He sees leverage right here from the H back out there. So he doesn't get depth. He really needs to get more depth because that defensive end does a good job getting upfield. He's going to be right in his face before he can get it out of his hand. All right, then we got one trick playoff. We got more, but this is the one I'll show. Now, he does an absolutely terrible job. He should be more up on the line, knowing that he's got to block down and seal this edge. He's too far back. Again, at this point, I think he was a sophomore. He's young. Was cutting his teeth in the rotation, but he's past that and he needs to be downhill. We just hand it to him. It sucks everybody up, and he had both guys open. And I think this is the second round of the playoffs 2 years ago. All right, so for us in the closing part, each year it's different. Like you heard me talk about, we were typically very quarterback heavy run. And now with the running backs, we have 3 running backs got to run it. So we're using them more so in the run game and kind of tapering back a little bit with the quarterback run. We amped it up a little bit and, all cards on the table. Everyone had to chip in during the playoffs and everyone had to do it. We use the buck sweep as an equalizer. Like I said, I know we won a state championship. I don't want to sound like I'm crying the blues, but we're not the biggest team. We have to use our speed and we have to find angles and matchups throughout the process of a game to see where we could take advantage of people. So that's where we are. Any questions?
Coach, that was great, man. I'm getting excited. I run a lot of buck sweep in my day, so that was pretty cool to see, man. You guys do a great job.
I appreciate it. Thank you. I know it's not traditional under center wing tee buck sweep, but it's
no, that's the kind I like. This was good. You have some options, and you guys definitely had the quarterback and the running back for it, man. You did a great job. So good luck to you this year. Look forward to following you guys.
I appreciate it. Thanks so much for the opportunity. I'm glad it finally was able to get on here with you and do this.
Yeah, appreciate it, Coach. Take care.
I appreciate it. Bye-bye.